with normal products, and I found that there are all these like toxic chemicals in normal products and in baby products, and so I basically had to make a company.
When a marriage worth hundreds of millions ends without a single legal safeguard, the financial fallout becomes a lesson the entire world watches unfold. Jessica Alba and Cash Warren's divorce just revealed one of the most shocking prenuptial oversights in recent Hollywood history. After 17 years of marriage and building business empires
Deliver straight to your door.
Sounds like you're feeling a good need, because obviously it is a maze out there of trying to figure all that out.
And it's nice to have one company that you know did all the hard work.
And eco-friendly, you know, I'm right there with you on that part of it. Okay, before I let you go, you just have to tell me, because everybody asked me when they heard you were coming on the show, please.
Over $600 million. The couple faced their split with zero financial protection in place. This case sends shockwaves through the entertainment industry and raises urgent questions about trust, wealth, and the price of romantic optimism. The details emerging from their divorce settlement paint a cautionary tale that even the most successful entrepreneurs can overlook critical financial planning.
But I am excited. You know, I've been focusing on honest.com, and I've been focusing on, you know, just mommyhood and everything that comes with that, and I'm ready to...
When love enters the equation. The marriage that built an empire, Jessica Alba and Cash Warren's love story, began in 2004 on the set of Fantastic Four, where Warren worked as a director's assistant. The chemistry between the rising actress and the behind-the-scenes professional sparked immediately. By 2008, they exchanged vows in a quiet courthouse ceremony, with Alba already pregnant with their first child. At the time of their marriage, Alba was establishing herself as a bankable Hollywood star with roles in major franchises.
Affordable products that deliver straight to your door.
Sounds like you're feeling a good need, because obviously it is a maze out there of trying to figure all that out.
And it's nice to have one company.
Warren, though less publicly visible, was building his own career in film production. Neither could have predicted the massive wealth they would accumulate over the next decade and a half. The real financial transformation came when Alba co-founded the Honest Company in 2012.
Honest.com, and I've been focusing on, you know, just mommyhood and everything that comes with that, and I'm ready to get back to work, and I'd love to do an action movie, so
if it were to happen,
What started as a passion project focused on safe, eco-friendly baby products exploded into a consumer goods empire. The company went public and at its peak reached valuations exceeding $1 billion. Meanwhile, Warren Co. founded Pair of Thieves, an underwear and sock brand that grew into a $100 million enterprise. Together, they weren't just a celebrity couple. They were business moguls building separate financial kingdoms under the same roof. Their 3 children grew up watching both parents succeed in vastly different industries, creating a combined household wealth that most people can barely comprehend.
You know, just mommyhood and everything that comes with that, and I'm ready to get back to work, and I'd love to do an action movie, so
if it were to happen, you're right there.
I would be right there.
Jessica.
For years, they presented the picture of Hollywood stability. Unlike many celebrity marriages that crumbled under public scrutiny, Alba and Warren maintained a relatively low profile. They focused on family life, business ventures, and building their brands without the typical drama that plagues famous couples. This stability made their January 2025 separation announcement all the more surprising. But what truly shocked observers wasn't the split itself, it was what came next. The shocking prenuptial revelation. When Jessica Alba filed for divorce in February 2025, legal documents revealed a detail that left financial experts stunned. Despite building a combined fortune estimated at over $600 million, the couple never signed a prenuptial agreement. Not a single legal document existed to outline how their massive wealth would be divided if the marriage ended. This oversight became the most talked about aspect of their entire divorce. California operates under community property laws, which means everything acquired during a marriage gets split equally between both parties unless a prenup states otherwise. Every dollar earned, every business built, every asset purchased during those 17 years became joint property by default. Alba's Honest Company stake, valued at $623 million, fell under this umbrella. Warren's Pair of Thieves brand, worth approximately $100 million, did too. Their Beverly Hills mansion, purchased for $10 million and renovated extensively, became community property. Even the luxury cars, artwork, and personal items they accumulated over nearly 2 decades together would need to be divided. Legal experts immediately began calculating the potential financial implications. Without a prenup protecting Alba's business interests, Warren could theoretically claim half of everything she built during their marriage. The same applied in reverse for his ventures. This mutual exposure created a situation where both parties stood to lose and gain simultaneously. Entertainment lawyers who spoke publicly about the case expressed disbelief that someone as business savvy as Alba would enter marriage without this basic protection. The question everyone asked was simple: why would two people building significant wealth skip such a fundamental step? Some speculated that the speed of their courthouse wedding, combined with Alba's pregnancy, led to the oversight. Others suggested that early in their relationship, neither anticipated the massive fortunes they would eventually create. The honest company didn't exist when they married. Warren's brand came later. Perhaps in 2008, prenuptial agreements seemed unnecessary for a couple without extraordinary wealth. But as their fortunes grew exponentially, updating their legal protections apparently never became a priority. When romance meets reality, the Alba-Warren situation stands in stark contrast to how other celebrity power couples handle marriage and money. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, despite their tumultuous public divorce, had an ironclad prenuptial agreement that kept their assets completely separate.
Or does Kanye come up with that on his own?
No, we all weigh in. I definitely take a family survey, but it's usually after the baby's born or trying to figure out what the baby looks like. I usually go about 3 or 4 days nameless until I feel that it really connects.
I like that plan.
When their marriage ended after 7 years, the property division happened smoothly because every detail had been outlined years earlier. Kardashian kept her beauty and shapewear businesses. West retained his music catalog and fashion empire. The prenup even specified that homes purchased individually remained separate property, regardless of whether the family lived there together. Their case demonstrated how prenups function as business contracts that remove emotion from financial decisions. When the relationship deteriorates, having clear guidelines prevents prolonged legal battles.
I don't know, True's getting older, and I just feel like it's now time to have another kid.
Yep. I like to eat.
All of the hard work, I want to dedicate this to Miss Martell, and I hope we just keep pushing forward, opening doors. God bless y'all.
Kardashian and West still fought over custody and other personal matters, but the financial aspect of their split resolved quickly. This efficiency saved them both millions in legal fees and years of courtroom drama. Other celebrity couples followed similar patterns. Beyoncé and Jay-Z reportedly have a prenup that includes payment structures tied to the length of their marriage and number of children.
Somebody put a light or cell phone, whatever you got in the air. Let's light the stadium up. I want to see every light, every cell phone, whatever you got, light it up.
Nicole Kidman insisted Keith Urban sign an agreement with strict substance abuse clauses that would nullify his financial claims if he used drugs. These contracts might seem cold or unromantic, but they provide clarity when emotions run high. They transform potential battlegrounds into straightforward administrative processes. Jessica Alba herself learned this lesson the hard way in her first marriage. She married actor Nick Lachey in a Las Vegas ceremony without a prenup, though that marriage was later annulled. When she married Cash Warren years later, the same mistake repeated itself. This pattern suggests that for some people, discussing prenuptial agreements feels incompatible with the optimism of new love. The act of planning for divorce while planning a wedding creates cognitive dissonance that many couples simply avoid. The settlement and its implications. After months of negotiation, Alba and Warren reached a settlement that finally brought their divorce to a close. The actress agreed to pay her ex-husband $3 million in 2 installments. Half would be paid immediately, with the remaining $1.5 million following 1 year later. This lump sum payment equalized the asset division since Alba retained more valuable holdings overall. Neither party would pay ongoing spousal support to the other, which likely saved Alba from decades of monthly payments. They agreed to joint custody of their 3 children, with arrangements for sharing parenting time and decision-making responsibilities. Alba also successfully restored her maiden name legally. The settlement, while substantial, actually represented a relatively clean break considering the size of their combined fortune. Many observers expected a far messier financial battle given the lack of prenuptial protection. The $3 million payment to Warren represents just a fraction of the total wealth at stake, considering that Alba's business interests alone were valued at over $600 million. This settlement suggests that much of their wealth remained demonstrably separate despite California's community property laws. Perhaps they maintained detailed records showing which assets predated the marriage or were kept in separate accounts. Maybe they had informal agreements about ownership that, while not legally binding as a prenup, helped guide negotiations. Financial advisors pointed to this case as a perfect example of why prenuptial agreements matter for everyone, not just the ultra-wealthy. The stress, uncertainty, and legal fees involved in negotiating asset division without clear guidelines affects couples at every income level. A prenup isn't a cynical prediction of failure. It's a practical business decision that protects both parties and reduces conflict if the worst happens. Learning from each public divorce what works and what doesn't. Alba's story joins a long list of cautionary tales about the intersection of love and money in Hollywood. Her resilience through this process, maintaining focus on her children and businesses while navigating complex legal territory, demonstrates the strength required to rebuild after such public scrutiny. But the fundamental lesson remains simple. Whether you're building a $100 million company or simply protecting a modest savings account, having clear financial agreements before marriage isn't pessimistic. It's responsible. And in a world where nearly half of all marriages end in divorce, that responsibility might be the most romantic gesture of all.